So hi guys and welcome back to my team career mode 2.0. And if you haven't watched last video guys, go and check it out because it was in Monza and we had starting was a good, but we went and pit a little bit earlier, then it got worse. And we have a problem here with University Talk Opportunity. Our local university has invited us to speak about the work in the world of F1. So that's going to cost us 250. I am not doing that guys because 250 resource points is a lot, and Gabriel Bortoletto wants to have an advanced talks with us. So 230 engineering workforce, vehicle performance 5th. Okay, annual salary 4.3, that is easy. Or so our performance clause is score 30 constructor points, which we already have done. So I think guys we can do something with Gabriel Bortoletto. So I think, you know what, yeah, let's just finish the meeting, let's just be over with it, and then we go into upgrading. And we have gone for the chassis breakthrough and obviously chassis expansion in the development. That will give us third development option. That will be very important guys, because honestly I think right now we are able to research the parts very well, but we are failing so many parts. That's why we have so much backlog of our upgrades. So here we have bought a rear downforce upgrades, which was important, and now we have 790 resource points. I do not think we can buy anything with that. So obviously powertrain, we have just gotten an intercooler out of that. That is also important. So here we are, look at that guy, Charles Leclerc leads the championship by 2 points with Lando Norris in 180 and Oscar Piastri 170, so they are close. And obviously we with Jack Crawford in 33 points and Lucas Blakely with 10 points. So here we have Jack Doohan guys, who is also wants to do an advanced talks with us. So let's see what he wants. 208, yeah, that is easy. And 6th performance, okay, that might be a little difficult, but and we have to achieve 3 top 10 race finishes. Obviously we have already done that. So let's just end the meeting because there is nothing we really have to do right now here. And we now have Jack Crawford with the end game talks guys. I am going to delay that because honestly I do not know if I really want to hire Jack Crawford again. So that's why I just thought, you know what, let's just leave it. And obviously we have something with our title sponsor. CEO recently made a controversial statement about our partnership during an interview. So we are going to call them out guys, because we cannot be having any kind of controversy right now, because look at that, again another development failed with another research also delayed. So this is the reason guys, we have so many delayed research. This is annoying, and we have failed Halo, and because of that, that will come out after this race and it will come in Singapore GP. So that honestly might be helpful. So we have now bought almost all the upgrades, and let's bought one intercooler and one ignition system, because guys we have 4 days for ignition system. As soon as that comes in we will buy the another one straight away. So we have 1000 resource points, and we have bought another minor powertrain upgrade there. So I think that should be good. Let's just go into the race here guys. Obviously I think choosing Jack Crawford or Lucas Blakely, I think last race we chose Jack Crawford, so let's just go for Lucas Blakely here guys. Let's just go.
And a warm welcome here ahead of qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Normally these streets are lined with vehicles, it's non-stop traffic jams, but today the roads are closed to everyone except the 20 best drivers in the world. It's time for qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
So here we are guys into qualifying. Obviously it is still wet and my quality is, I don't know guys what happened to it, but honestly it's just for the qualifying, everything else is fine. So look at that guys, because it's full wet I have zero grip on these tires. Obviously these are the enters and I am just trying to keep it onto the track. And let's see, race to the line, 2 minutes 4 seconds. That's how bad my time is. But guys, as soon as we go out at the end of the qualifying where it goes to inters, we look at that, how much time we are gaining. 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths. It's just gaining. We have already gained a whole second in just 2 corners. Obviously we really had a bad corner after turn 1, so that makes sense. And look at that, both the cars of F1 Albon were fighting a little bit, but they get out of the way properly. 2 seconds is just 3 laps, and we have gained 8 seconds, guys, almost 8 seconds, and we go P7. That is good. And Sainz has a penalty. That is bad for him. And we have Jack Crawford and Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso is out in P22. What happened to him? I do not know. I think he might have not been able to do a lap, but that doesn't matter to us, guys, because as soon as we go out into tire on our first lap into Q2, look at that, we have someone behind us who is matching us, even though we are not giving him the DRS or any slipstream, and it was Lando Norris. That makes sense. So Q2, guys, on to the final set, final time into Q2, and this time it is for soft tires. Let's see, can we get ourselves into Q3? And so much understeer oversteer at the same time out of the turn 2, but that doesn't matter. We have gained 11 seconds, guys, and our deployment was a little bit confusing, but that doesn't matter. And we go P9, another Q3 finish for us. So let's see, Antonelli is the reason we are into Q3, because he could have improved, he didn't. Everyone else doesn't really look like might be able to get themselves into Q3, so I think this is good, guys. So here we are into Q3 doing our second lap. Obviously, guys, the first lap we did was a 143.3, which is an amazing lap, and honestly we need to improve on that, which was on a new set of tire too, and this is also on a new set of tires. So we have to just found the time through our performance. No tire delta here. Let's see through the castle section, and we have gained 4 tenths, almost 5 tenths, and at the exit we have lost a little bit. But look at that, guys, how much time we lost on the first lap out of the sector, out of the castle sector. And this means, guys, we have 4.5 tenths gain. And let's see, does that mean, can we get ourselves into P8 even? P9 would be a blessing, but here we are losing a little bit too much time. 3.5 tenths gain. Deploying everything we have. Deploy is used, but that doesn't matter because we are still gaining. Race to the line, and let's see where we end up. And it's only P10. Okay, and obviously we were just a little bit behind Carlos Sainz, but Max Verstappen has taken pole with Charles Leclerc into P2. So I think Charles Leclerc might be able to get himself something, because Lando Norris is only in P7.
And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku, and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today. So our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers, and it's made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to a catastrophic consequence for any one of our drivers. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Piastri, Esteban Ocon, and Hamilton, Norris, Tsunoda, Blakely, and Pierre Gasly, Antonelli, Stroll, Liam Lawson, and Sainz, Bortoletto, Hadjar, Jack Doohan, and Alex Albon, Behrman, Crawford, Hulkenberg, and Fernando Alonso rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So into the race here, guys, we have hard to mediums. That's the strategy we are going for. Honestly, I wanted to change, but I thought let's just go for it with 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are go for the Azerbaijan GP. Max Verstappen getting a good exit, but Charles Leclerc, amazing start for him into turn 1. He has already overtaken him. Oscar Piastri has overtaken, and it's 3 wide for Ocon, Hamilton and Lando Norris. That's why we were able to get ourselves in between them. Let's just see again and what happened to us. A little bogged down there, but we got a little bit opening there between Tsunoda, and because of that we got ourselves into P7 straight away from P10 into turn 2, making a big dive bomb on Hamilton and barging Lando Norris out of the way. That was not the way to go, but we still had our way, and because of that, look at that, still going side by side with us. Charles Leclerc has taken the lead, and we have also secured P5 out of the first 3 corners. That is good. Charles Leclerc into P1, Oscar Piastri P3, and we might have overtaken Charles Leclerc's championship rival. That is good for him, but honestly I do not know if we really want to overtake him or should I let him pass. But guys, this is Azerbaijan GP. It's very easy to overtake anyone here, so I already know Lando Norris will be past us in 2-3 laps, so that's why I'm not really worried, because here at the end of lap 1, even without any DRS, Lando Norris is trying to overtake us, but we pinch him through the inside of turn 1 and we have stayed in front. Look at that, and look at that, he had to slow so much down so that he does not make any contact with us. Honestly, I was not really happy about it, but guys, I have to do something, otherwise these guys are going to flew past us, and that's why I am doing all this. So here we are at the last sector of lap 2 and we are through the castle section. Look at that, guys, so much understeer and oversteer happens here because I think there is a bump at the exit, and that really causes my car to unsettle, because obviously you cannot keep the steering input in with buttons, so that's why that happens. But look at that, guys, Tsunoda has caught up to us. Lando Norris has been overtaken because obviously he lost the DRS to us onto the second DRS state. That means Tsunoda will be the one who will try to overtake us. Let's see, out of the turn 16, just not using any battery here because we are already 1.7 seconds behind George Russell and Oscar Piastri. That's why I thought let's just leave it there. And there is Bortoleto, Jack Doohan and Crawford, our teammate, who's already a second behind Doohan, and Doohan is slow, and that is smoke. That is very big smoke puff there, guys. That means Jack Doohan is out and Yuki Tsunoda is trying to overtake us, and he has overtaken us easily there. So we are just going to, and that is the confirmation, guys, Jack Doohan out of the race. And honestly, I really wanted to do something about Tsunoda, but look at that, he just has the pace, and obviously he is in a Red Bull, he always have the pace. And here we are at the turn 3 of lap 3, and obviously Yuki has already overtaken us, but that doesn't matter, guys, because Lando Norris is still behind us, and it's not like I am favoring Charles Leclerc over Lando Norris. It's just that I am trying to get some points for my team. And here is Lando Norris. Look at that, he just flew past us at the end of lap 3, and there is Hamilton too, because as soon as they got DRS, there was no way I was keeping them behind me, and they have so much speed, guys, so much excessive speed. I can't do anything, and if I do anything, I use my tires a little too much, and that is what I'm doing, guys. I'm using all of my tires, and there was Ocon taking a look there, but obviously we still had the pace to stay in front of him. And look at that, in just 4 laps we have gone from P10 to P5 5 and then back to P8. So we are going to lose many positions right now, because honestly guys, one of the big problems for me was I went way too low on the rear wing. Because of that, I do not have any performance coming out of a corner, and obviously air is OB traction. That means we have no fight with any of these guys. And look at that, Ocon just, well, I do not even have the ERS left to do anything, and Ocon has overtaken us. Sainz will try to overtake us, but we will not let him go through the inside of turn 1. We push him wide a little bit, going side by side, but that means we will now get the DRS of Ocon. That is good. Let's use everything we have to stay away from Carlos Sainz, because there is no way we are overtaking Ocon, but we can stay with Ocon. That will be enough. Look at that. At the end of lap 5, we still are using everything I have so that we can get in the DRS, because guys, the DRS line is also very short. That is also a problem for us, because the detection line is also in front, which causes us problem because we are always out of the DRS range. But obviously with Ocon it is a little bit easier to do that, and we are fighting with Sainz, and through turn 2 around the outside we have overtaken him. But for how long we can keep this up, because Antonelli now comes on and he has overtaken Carlos Sainz. So Antonelli in the Mercedes will try to overtake us, and look at that guys, 6 laps we are already on 25% tire. So this is going to be difficult, very difficult to do, but let's see what we can do right now. Obviously keeping these guys behind is a nightmare, because they are not staying behind us, and here we are. Look at that, 2 tenths behind is Antonelli, and even without DRS guys, even without DRS, look at that, how much I am pinching him, but still he has so much pace that he just flew past us again. And Carlos Sainz will also try to do something here, but we still have the pace at least from him to stay in front of him, and Carlos Sainz still through the inside of us. Obviously we get so much wheel spin coming out of turn 1 always. That's why it's getting a little difficult to stay with these guys, because honestly turn 16 and the castle section are the worst part of track for me, because of the traction you need. And look at that guys, this time at least we got a little bit better traction here, and we already have a strategy to, well, pit on lap 14, but that's not going to change anything guys. We have to keep it up. Let's see what we can do. Obviously these tires do not feel good guys. I think they are already around 50% done. So this is Carlos Sainz, and he has finally overtaken us guys. He has also overtaken us. So the last point place has overtaken us, and we are now in P11 guys. So we might have to do something here guys, because if we go like this, look at that, through the inside of Carlos Sainz, we have done it. We have overtaken Carlos Sainz, and that was a crazy dive bomb. I do not understand how Carlos Sainz saw us. I do not understand how he saw us there and still stayed there. Well, I mean, he gave us a gap enough for us to fit. But guys, at the end of lap 10, I decided let's just pit, do a 2-stop strategy, because guys, there was no way if I tried to do a 1-stop strategy we would get any kind of points. So I thought, you know what, let's try something different. If it doesn't work, we are out of points anyway. So let's just see into the pits, optimal turn in, and we get 2.5 pit stop. Not a bad pit stop, but I think we can do much better than this. So out of the pit, and there is Lawson who is going side by side with us, and into turn 1 we have stayed in front of Lawson there guys. That is big for us, because medium tires we need to use them, and obviously the new tires, the grip, that means we have caught up to Crawford in just one lap. And here we will get the ERS, DRS, and now we will try to overtake Crawford. Obviously he had the DRS, but that doesn't matter because the mechanical grip on these medium tires, and we have almost gotten into the barriers of turn 3. That was really scary, but now we set our sight on Alonso. and obviously onto the DRS straight, onto the main straight. We have overtaken Fernando Alonso very easily. Well, technically he lets us pass, and you can say in a way, guys, this is our true position because we are going to pit again and these guys aren't. So that's why I need to make, well, big overtakes, and we need to do it fast as we can. So that's why I thought about it. Keep on pushing. At the end of lap 14 we have caught up to Lance Stroll. That is now our goal. Obviously the mechanical grip on these tires are really good, so pushing everything everywhere, and let's use the battery now so that we can stay with Lance Stroll, obviously using it sparingly because we do not have any battery left. And look at that, guys, Lance Stroll defends. That means we will get his DRS, ERS and also the slipstream, and that is the easier way to overtake him. And we already have a strategy, and obviously we were going to pit anyway, so that doesn't matter, guys. So now Oliver Bearman is our goal, and I think he's going into pits. No, he's not, but other people are. That doesn't mean anything to us because we will get the DRS, ERS and into turn 1. Look at that, how back we were, and that was a dive bomb, a proper dive bomb without risking anyone there. That means we are into P13 right now, but we can catch up to Hülkenberg and Bortoleto very quickly. So let's just push as much as we can and let's just catch up to these guys. Obviously there was Oliver Bearman, he tried to do something, but guys, I have these medium tires and they are amazing. So teammate is already in the pits for us, and we are now into P11 because obviously Bortoleto is in front, who has not pit, and Tonelli though has pit. So can we do something? Haja here, guys, look at the pace he has. Obviously I think Haja was already behind us, but we go through the inside. That is a big fake from us. Obviously we thought let him by, but then I thought if I let him by now, that will mean we will get stuck behind him. That's why I do not want to get stuck behind anyone right now because we need to push as much as we can, and I am using these tires to push 100%. And let's just do something about catching up to Bortoleto, but that doesn't matter, guys, because at the end of lap 18 these tires are done. Because look at that orange tire wear icon there on the rear right there, and that's why I thought, you know what, this means we have to pit now, and let's just go into the pits. Obviously late turn in doesn't matter, guys, because honestly I want to push this a little bit early. I do not want you to see the whole pit stop again. And here is Jack Crawford, but we are in front of him. So 7 laps, I think we can do something here, guys. So Lance Stroll, lap 22, we have caught up to him, though it wasn't really that easy, but these guys are very close to each other, so we might be able to do something. So we on lap 23 will get the DRS of Lance Stroll, and we will use all the battery we have. Let's see, can we overtake Lance Stroll here? We should be able to do it. And look at that, getting his slipstream as long as we can, and into turn 3 we have overtaken Lance Stroll. That is good. And here we are, guys, just keeping ourselves easy there, not trying to make any mistakes now because Alonso is in front of us and we need to catch up to him. And here we are, guys, on lap 24, starting lap 25. We have not been able to catch up to Alonso because obviously he is also on medium tires that are only 2 laps older than ours. 25, Ocon has stayed and he has spun. Ocon has spun. Haja is behind him, he has gone into the back. Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, Gasly, Bearman is coming. Does he get into the... Yep, he's going in and he's trying to stay in front, but look at that, there is no space for him to go, and Alonso has gone to back of him. Gasly has gone into the back of him, and here we are, guys, taking our time. Yellow flags obviously because there is only 25 laps left, well, 1 lap left. There will be no safety car, and we are just, look at that, I really just wanted to get a point here, guys, so that I just wiggle past all of these guys, went into the front, only got P12. I thought it was P11 and Ocon had a penalty. I thought that might be a point, but guys, obviously that's not how it works, and this is obviously not the point we were hoping for, but still we can get something. And here is Charles Leclerc, who wins the Azerbaijan GP by 14 seconds to Max Verstappen, who comes into P2 with Piastri P3 and Russell into P4, and obviously Hamilton P5. But look at that big fight for P6 here with Tsunoda and Lando Norris. A thousandth of a second was the gap between them, and that was crazy. Amazing fight between the two, and obviously that was amazing to see. But Lando Norris, this means, has lost some points, but obviously there are still 4 races to go with a sprint too, and here we are, guys, trying to stay in front of Bearman. Obviously I was trying to get ourselves at least P11 because that will get us some good fan rating. Can we do it using every bit of battery we have? Bearman behind us, look at that, he's catching up, he has the DRS, the tires are done, and Bearman has on the line overtaken us. But guys, what an amazing race. P12 at the end for us, and still, guys, we weren't anywhere after the second pit stop, but we got at least P12.
Charles Leclerc, what a drive, what a victory, he wins.
And that's 2 wins in a row now. It's the start of potentially something special, but they can't get ahead of themselves just yet. It's a long way to go.
And it's time for that special moment for our special 3 today. The podium awaits our top 3 finishers. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc, Charles Leclerc on top.
So guys, obviously Charles Leclerc won the race, and he has now very well overtaken in the championship. But what an amazing race, guys. I still do not understand how we got the driver of the day, but I mean, I am not complaining about it, I am happy. But honestly, guys, it was really fun, and we did not have the tire wear, I think, to compete with any of these guys, but that doesn't mean anything, guys. We can do more. Let's just see what we can do, obviously. And here we are, guys. Obviously we lost all the money for the repairs, because honestly that makes sense. Even after the crash we had on lap 25, this is still good. Fan rating is still 3. So guys, if you are enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.